Hey, I'm Danan, and this is Camellia City, a podcast about the most magical city in the state of Alabama and possibly anywhere. Greenville, Alabama, not Greenbow, Alabama. That would be Greenville, Alabama. It is a cold and blustery early morning today, and I just wanted to talk about specifically loneliness in a small town, but in Greenville. And the reason why is several reasons. First of all, there's a new article from U.S. News that I'm going to bring into this discussion titled 3 in 4 Americans Struggle with Loneliness by Dennis Thompson, but also is something that comes up in my shop an awful lot. And I find that people come and they talk to me. Maybe they have some health questions, but really what ends up happening is when you really get to talk to somebody, there are issues with loneliness, and it happens a lot everywhere, not just in a small town, but I am going to talk about it here. So, lots of people are lonely in big towns too. Trust me. It can happen anywhere. So according to U.S. News, there's a new study out that suggests that not even just with the holidays approaching, but all the time people are dealing with loneliness because of how our society is structured today. It's widespread among Americans. And it really, the apex of loneliness is 3 different times in our lives. And I see this too. Your late 20s, your mid-50s, and then again in your late 80s. That's when you're at most risk for feeling lonely. So, wisdom appeared to be a strong factor in avoiding feelings of loneliness, the researchers said. People who had qualities of wisdom, like empathy, compassion, control over their emotions, and self-reflection, were much less likely to feel lonely. And here's my take on that. Look. How do I say this? So, if you want to look for something bad, you will find it. If you want to look for something good, you'll find that. So, have the wisdom and the smarts, or whatever you want to call it, at least, to be looking for the good stuff in life. Because you're going to find whatever you're looking for. So, people who have decided that, hey, yeah, stuff sucks sometimes, but I'm going to live my life appreciating and looking at and really trying to concentrate on the good things, will have a happier life, period. You're going to have a happier life. Likewise, if you decide to point out everything that goes wrong, talk only about the bad stuff, look at only what's negative in your life, you're going to have a crappy life. It's your decision. Things happen to everybody. We all have horrible things happen. We all have heartache. We all have betrayal. We all have sickness. Bad things happen to everyone. But I can tell a lot about a person with how they deal with their lives. The same thing is true for loneliness. Okay, so, and I'm going to give you some ways that if you live in any small town, ways that people here combat loneliness very effectively, by the way. Okay, but those 3 periods of life have more stress for different reasons, obviously. Even in questionnaires, over 76% of people show serious signs of loneliness all throughout their lives, and it may not be what you think. From one of the scientists who said there's a misperception that loneliness means social isolation. It does not. Loneliness is subjective, and it's what you feel. The definition of loneliness is distress because of a discrepancy between actual social relationships and desired social relationships. It's a difference between what you want socially and what you have socially. So that means loneliness, yes, of course, can occur in a big town with lots of action going on, or it can occur in a tiny town where you think nobody understands you too. Both. Yes, people can feel lonely when they're married, even when they have a network of friends. And the reason why that is you may feel like you don't have that much in common. The people around you aren't really connecting to life in the way that you want to connect to life. But that all being said, in the study, lonely people were more likely to be single, live alone, and have a personal income of less than $35,000, statistically. In the late 20s, people are generally making, big choices that will affect the rest of their lives. Career choices, college, life partners. You're starting to put a lot of responsibility on yourself. It's a difficult life period for anyone, really. And you're comparing yourself to your peers and what am I supposed to do in my life? Yes, that can happen. So loneliness can happen more then. And then in the mid-50s is when people tend to experience that midlife crisis. Signs of aging are coming on, signs of disease maybe. You may see some of your friends dying, sometimes family members. And this is really when most people become aware of their mortality more. And then you're like, what was this all for? Everybody's dying off, and what is this all for? And so you can have an existential crisis for sure. In the late 80s, it's a time of increased helplessness. So sometimes it's about your physical abilities are declining, and sometimes it's about mental abilities declining, and that can often make people lonely. And if they've lost a spouse, especially, obviously. So we know older people. Their friends are less likely to be alive, their family members, and it's easy to get lonely as you get older, yes. Okay, and also we know that people who suffer from loneliness tend to have more depression, anxiety, and stress in their lives. So I want to talk about how it happens that you can, in a small town like the Camellia City, you can combat loneliness. And there's lots of group activities in whatever kind of thing you're interested in, which I love. First of all, if you wanted to learn how to play golf or tennis, that's available. If you want to take yoga lessons or work out at the gym, we've got that too, which are great for combating loneliness, by the way, just physical activity. We've got places to walk downtown. You could come walk. People say hello, So that's happening, but also we've got so many group activities. It's insane. Like, I have been busier here than I've ever been in my life. Like, I can't get everything in that I want to do. It's the most amazing thing how much culture is in this town, and how I just can't fit everything in. I wish I could. Okay, here's some group activities that anyone can participate in any town, really, but Camellia City has this too. Greenville has this too. The Historical Society. So find a historical society in your town. Ours does 4 meetings every year, and where a speaker will come and speak, and you'll learn about local history, and sometimes it's shocking. You had no idea that stuff would happen in a town this old, right? I mean, lots of murders, lots of craziness, and lots of murders. I love it. There's a garden club here. I think there's actually more than one. So if you're interested in that, you could join the garden club. We have many civic organizations, including Rotary, Lions, and Kiwanis. Those are organizations that meet once a week. You have lunch once a week during the meeting, and it's a way to sit and have lunch with people. And it's just a really great way to network anything, in your business or not your business, just that, come to these meetings. What's great about civic organizations is they raise money for charity, and that also makes you feel as if you're doing more in your life and helping people, and that will help keep you from being lonely. Book clubs and classes. You can find those at the library or through the LBW Facebook page. There's art classes at Stacy Edwards' place and Artitude downtown. And what's so great about that is you can go have a glass of wine and paint a painting to take home. You can do it with one friend, you can do it with many friends, family members. You can just go and sign up and see who's going to be there. It's amazing. What a great thing for our town. You can join the Chamber of Commerce. Yes, anyone can join the Chamber of Commerce. And with that membership, you get invited to all kinds of chamber activities, but also you can use the actual building, the Chamber of Commerce, for meetings and get-togethers and all kinds of things. There's so many networking opportunities there, too. How about the Greenville Young Professionals? They've had one meeting, and they're looking for somebody to really take the torch and continue that on. So young people, you guys in your 20s, can meet and talk about ways to improve Greenville because we need you. There is the Greenville Camellia City Association of Natural Health. It's the Camellia City Association of Natural Health. That met at my shop, Sweetheart, Alabama, last night, and we had a wonderful lady, Michelle Thigpen, talking about essential oils and how it really has helped her. You could have your own personal dinner club with just a few friends. You could volunteer for several charities in town. Lord knows we need you. You know, there are always ways that you can help to make your area, wherever you live, a little bit better. And volunteering is an amazing way to do that. You could, and by the way, most towns have lots of different churches. This town has lots of different churches. I can tell you right now, there's probably, even if you have a bad taste in your mouth with whatever church you were raised in, for whatever reason, I bet you could find a church that you might like better. Churches are great places for community and to find like-minded people. And you don't have to go to a church that you grew up in. I grew up in a wonderful church called Damascus Baptist Church. Wonderful, wonderful church. Right now, I go to another church, St. Thomas Episcopal. I like going there. And one of the reasons, by the way, if you're from the Camellia City, I might want to and you do go to a church, if you see someone who might be a little lonely, maybe you should invite them to your church. I lived here I was invited to St. Thomas, which is why I went. No people from any of the other churches invited me to church. Like, oh, hey, you moved back. So good to see you. Nobody said, except for somebody at St. Thomas, nobody said, oh, hey, you moved back. Hey, do you want to come to my church? I know you probably haven't seen people in a long time. You may not have much to do. Would you like to come to my church this Sunday? That only happened with somebody from St. Thomas. And so I was like, yeah, I'll try it. Why not? So if you're active in your church, maybe invite people to your church just to help them be around people. And if you're not and you're looking for something to do, going to a church is a great idea to, if you have the same belief system, obviously. And it's a great idea to just be around people who are joyous and happy, you hope. And, hopefully they're living a life that Christ wants us to live and not just pretending to be religious. But that's for another show, isn't it? Okay, you can also get involved in our Renaissance Festival. Yes, we have a medieval festival here in town, and they're always looking for volunteers to help, and that gets you all kinds of special stuff, and you get dressed in costume, and you get to be part of the Renaissance. It's just the coolest thing ever. Also, the Greenville Haunted Firehouse is always looking for help, and so many people just enjoy scaring the mess out of people at the haunted firehouse, so that's something you can get involved in. And like just recently, we had cemetery tours where our wonderful Molly Waters gave walking tours of our local cemeteries. So you just have to be on the lookout for things like that, and finding people who might be interested. If you're just kind of interested in the history of, your town, go find out about it. Go to the library. Get out and do things. I promise you, if you have the attitude of you're looking for something and you're going to find it and it's going to be great, it'll happen. If you have the attitude of nothing happens in this town and it's so boring and blah, 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 well, you know what? You're the one who's boring. Sorry. Oh, only boring people get bored. Okay. Sorry if that was a little harsh, but it's true. I'm going to speak the truth, and that's the truth. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope that if you are feeling lonely, that you reach out. The holidays are not an easy time for some people. I know people have lost loved ones, and they have heartache over the holidays, and it's easy to feel hurt over the holidays. I'm right there with you. I know this. But try to find the joy and the love, and try to bring joy and love and happiness in this little world of ours too. All right, thank you so much, and message me anytime. See you next time. Bye. Mwah. Love you.